What's up guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be sharing with you guys some tips on how we control our dog's shedding. Since we have 3 labs, controlling their shedding is not an easy task, but it is possible to do. So as I said, for this video, we've come up with a few tips to help you control and manage your dog's shedding. One of the best tips, guys, to control your dog's shedding is to just brush them. If you could brush them every day, that'd be awesome, but usually we try to brush them like every other day. I know it's a chore, and I know you guys might not want to spend the time doing it, but hey, if you want to control your dog's shedding, brushing them is literally one of the best tips to control it. Now, of course, it's important that you use the right brush. For us personally, we use the FURMINATor. Again, like we've mentioned in previous videos, we have tried everything out there and we found that this right here is the best tool for removing your dog's fur. Like literally, look at all this. This is everything that we removed in like the past 5 minutes. So again, you wanna make brushing your dog a cool experience for them. So, grab some little treats, introduce them to the brush, and then just brush them. See, you guys are complaining about brushing 1 dog. We gotta brush 3 dogs. So if we can do it, you guys can do it too.
So another thing that helps with your dog shedding is actually bathing them, which is a big thing. A lot of people don't know, but at the max, I would probably say like once a month is probably a good amount to go by. But it helps a lot. It actually helps to take off all the dead fur that's on your dog's body that would have fallen off otherwise. So like I said, bathing is super important. You want to bathe them not too much, but not too little. Bathing them too much can lead actually to their skin getting super dry and flaky, and their coat won't be shiny anymore. For us, since we have 3 dogs, once a month is probably a little bit too often, so we tend to go maybe like 2 to 3 months. But in the summertime is when we do bathe them more often, because in the summertime is when it gets hotter and they actually shed more during the summertime because of the heat. So that is the only exception for when we bathe them a little bit more often. But other than that, we go every 2 to 3 months. Another plus is that they actually make de-shedding shampoo and conditioner, so I would highly recommend those. They just help, again, reduce the shedding, and using them consistently is the way you'll see the best result, but I think it's great, so I would definitely recommend it.
I know this is going to be a chore, but if you guys want to control your dog's hair from getting everywhere, you guys have to vacuum frequently. Now, if you want to make the chore easier, what I would recommend is you guys investing in a good vacuum. We have tried multiple different vacuums, and we found that with some, hair got stuck in the rollers and it just completely ruined the vacuum. So that's why we decided to invest in a vacuum that actually costs quite a bit of money. I'm not sure how much this one cost. I think it was like $250 to $300, this one right over here. But the reason we invested into this one was because, number one, it has way stronger suction. Like, the suction on this thing is freaking sane. It makes vacuuming a breeze. We only usually have to go over spots just like once or twice. Another reason we bought this vacuum is because this one has rollers that hair does not get tangled or stuck. Like, 0 hair gets tangled or stuck inside of the rollers. And probably the final reason why we bought this vacuum is because it has a large dust cup. Again, we have 3 dogs and we're vacuuming probably once every 2 to 3 days. So we want like a large dust cup in order for, all that junk to fit in there, And yeah, like I said, I know this particular vacuum right here is expensive. The way I look at it though is kind of like an investment. This particular vacuum has lasted us a very long time. It's made cleaning way easier, less of a headache, so we have more time to get work done or do other things. I can see us using this vacuum for like, 4 or 5 years down the road. Now I get it, not everyone has $300 that they would want to invest into a vacuum. And yes, there are other cheaper alternatives out there. So the only thing I would recommend is just do your research, make sure it's a good vacuum. That way you're not buying one and then you have to replace it within a year, and then you have to replace the new one that you bought within another year. You got what I mean? Otherwise it's like you're gonna spend $40 on one, then $60 on another, then $80 on another, when you could have just spent $300 on one that's gonna last you like 5 years. Now, another tool that helps you control your shedding is going to be sweeping. In terms of sweeping, I actually would not recommend a broom, because usually what ends up happening is all the fur just gets tangled in like the broom bristles. Like they get stuck there and then you manually have to pull those suckers out. So this thing is actually advertised as like a fur remover broom. So basically it has bristles on one side, and on the other side it kind of has like a squeegee and stuff. And this thing just helps so much more with picking up fur. This is also a lot easier to clean because of the material, and you can actually also pull fur out of the carpet using this thing right here. Both of these tools are like great tools to have to help you control your dog's shedding, to help mitigate where the fur gets and whatnot, and yeah.
Okay, so another important factor to consider when it comes to reducing your dog's shedding is what food they are eating, because food actually has a lot to do with their coat also. This is another thing that I didn't know, but what they eat matters. Basically, what you want to look at when you're buying their food is the ingredients. So what you want to do is look at the ingredients that are in the dog food. So you want to make sure that in the ingredients, the first ingredient should be either chicken, beef, lamb, something like that. You don't want it to say chicken meal or beef meal or anything like that, because that is a big no-no. But like I said, all that reflects on your dog's coat. If your dog is eating food that isn't really satisfying their nutritional needs, then that leads to more shedding and that leads to a weaker coat, and that's what you want to avoid. So this actually helped us a lot, because I feel like now that they're eating better quality food, their coats actually look a lot shinier, and we get a lot of compliments, especially on Kylo's coat, that his coat is very shiny. So diet is super, super important, but along with the diet is keeping them hydrated. Making sure that they drink enough water is honestly just as important as them eating good food, good quality food. So I would say if you notice that your dog isn't really eating properly or drinking properly and they're shedding a lot, it could have something to do with the food that they're eating or the amount of water they're drinking. Water, again, is as important as the food that they're eating, because they have to stay hydrated in order for them to maintain that healthy, shiny coat and for it to not look super dull or for it to be losing a lot of hair frequently. So yeah, I would say those two go hand in hand, and they're super, super important factors to consider. Okay, so another tip for controlling your dog shedding is limiting their access in your home. So this is something that we do a lot. As you can see, we have doggy gates all over our home, because we don't allow them to be in certain parts of our certain areas. So some of the areas that are off limits to our dogs are our bedrooms, our couches, and our bathrooms, and that's because we don't want to see their fur get everywhere. We don't always want to be having to clean up their hair off of the couches and in our room and in the bathroom. So I think it just kind of helps to like keep them in one area, so that way the fur doesn't get all over your house. That way you know that there's only certain areas where you're gonna have to be vacuuming and picking up their fur. So yeah, I think it's a great way to control where their fur is, at least, because if it's all over your house, if it's on your bed, if it's in your bathroom, that can get a little bit, it can be a bit much to handle. So definitely limiting the access that your dogs have in your home can be a helpful tip to avoid having to go through the stress of having to vacuum every single area in your home.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up our list on ways to help you control and manage your dog shedding. We hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please don't forget to drop a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share it with someone who might need to watch it. We love you guys, and we will see you guys next time.